It is July 23rd, 2023. I hope you guys enjoy this new scenery. Well, except this is actually the path I like to take to where I go up. It's gonna get a little noisy, yeah, and that's because yeah, I'm not exactly yeah. It's kind of a little busy in the noon. But anyway, I'm over at my father's little spot once again because I did state it in the following update some time back. I would be up here to see my half sister. Finally, we did, but that's just the main thing. Other than nothing special. I don't know. I feel like this the last week since the last video. I try to get productive, but it's been a little slow. I didn't say I haven't made no progress, but I try to. I feel like though that when it comes to scheduling, sometimes it tends to throw me off the loop at times, and sometimes I just need to wind down somewhat. So let's talk about something else for a change. Talk a little bit about why or how, I don't know, but isn't that beautiful? So to start, I remember back I used to do this a lot, taking nice where I used to live originally. We have a nice the back end, or more technically front, but both ways are fine. I used to take lots of walks all the time when I was over at my mother's. We have a nice field my grandfather owned, which is a cranberry field. And before that, there used to be no field like that at all back. Basically, it's like our backyard sort. It used to be like more grassy, and we would have our own little clubhouse, if you want to call that. I believe my father built, or has it been? I don't know. I don't recall exactly, but I know it was there at some point before it had to be taken down for the sake of just, well, clearing space for the then upcoming cranberry field. And then it pretty much made it to a series of roads that we eventually would make to take great advantage of, which is what we did. But before that, though, it was like in 1999. You know, actually, I never really was a fan. Back when I was younger, I really wasn't a fan of the basic fitness stuff. Basically, walking or carrying stuff. I guess you could call that basic to the bone. I wasn't like in throw with it, but I guess after some point I start to actually grow to enjoying it. It's like a simple pastime to enjoy and wonder, and maybe burn off some calories and stuff like that. And from there on, I used to do that almost all the time, especially during winter. For us anyway, we actually had pathways that leads us into forests that's usually eroded, kind of like this one, but except it's a little bit more wider. And sometimes, if not later on, we would eventually take a path that would actually lead us to where my dad used to live at one point. Sure, it takes about like maybe roughly an hour and a half at most. I can't remember how long exactly, but during non-winter seasons, it takes a bit in order to get to on foot. But it sure is worth it, though. I usually do it alone or with in a family. It's what we do. And that's something we usually do. But if we really, really want to vehicles. I know. If we really want to go to our father's place in winter, like by foot, sometimes we would. And I feel like that one particular time in the season is when we actually had to go there, when there's like a lot of snow. And I believe we actually had to like trek through fresh snow that's like, I can't remember, but it felt like halfway to up to the knee, you know, or somewhere, but it's deep. So it took us longer than it did, and just because we wanted to play Smash Brothers that day. Something like that. You know what? All that exercise, in spite of that, actually to help maintain our weight. So in a way, is something that is really nice. So even if I don't do anything excessive in terms of weight loss, at the very least, I and my brother, we do that the most. We do a lot more of that. That might sound like it's not a very exciting way to do it, but it seems to be more effective when you're younger, right? So if you're watching this, if you're younger, don't hesitate to walk. Like, go somewhere you want to go. Don't take bikes even. Although you could say that bikes does just as good as walking, except you get around faster. So whatever works for you, I say go for it, right? Just try not to use something that takes away the workout of it. Man, you know, talking about that and my prior home, I tend to get this nostalgic moment sometimes about our past homes, our past house, and where we used to live. Of course, I like where I live now, but sometimes I think about, you know, I think that the more I think about my past, the more I think about, you know, my ideal living situation. Now, as much as I like towns, I don't know if I could see myself living in a city or like somewhere very heavily populated. It might feel depressing, in spite of the fact there are a lot of things. I might adapt to it, sure, but I mean, where I live currently, I like it. You know, it's like a good mix of both. But not here at the moment, anyway. But you know, and I feel like I'm more into nature. I'm kind of like a nature kind of guy. That's why sometimes I see animals roam around. Animals from large to small. I guess for smaller ones would be insects. So, but yeah, that's something I admire. You know, a nice nature with you know, it feels close to home. You know, hence why I enjoyed the brisk nature walk back in the day. I still do walk nowadays, but sometimes I just do it when I'm not at work. And when I'm at work, well, I just, you know, do it at work, right? It's why I do the thing I usually do. I'm too tired to just, like, you know, go out these days, but that's just me. Yeah, in a few minutes though, I'll make it there. So yeah, you should definitely try to go outside more. And for those who, you know, I mean, I spent a lot of my time on PC, sure, but that's not to say I don't get to touch grass too often, or something like. Yeah, okay. Look, see, I'm touching nature. Look at that, beautiful, ain't it? See? I touched grass. I didn't vaporize. So yeah. PC dwellers, go outside a little more. No offense to anyone who, you know, stays indoors. I mean, I'm one of those too, but I'm like, I grew up before technology is something we take things for granted. Like, really. And man, there are things that, it feels natural just to look at the surroundings, which is that's something I like about. I like nature when it's just beautiful just to look at, you know. Um, and right now it is still summertime, and it's one of the cooler times of the year. Not the coolest, but it's a little better, right? I still don't know what to do with when it comes to my vacation, but I do hope that I'll make good use of it at some point. I'm not sure. It would be nice to take a nice break after a good work season or something like that, but it's something to think about. My mind is like all over the place. I might be able to get into another project with someone with someone else, as my current video game project is kind of slowing down, but I still need to work on that. But luckily, there's some work, but hopefully by the end of this month, but preferably before, I'll have something to share. And but in the meantime, I should just take it easy. I haven't done a lot of streaming, sure, especially on Twitch. And there's a reason why. Well, now you kind of know that. So, yeah. I feel like that's the way it is now. I probably won't be returning to Twitch until much later. Yeah, there's a familiar sighting. So with that, I don't know what else to really add here, but I'll just say this. I'm not dead. I'm still doing my own thing. But I do have plans. I do have plans in my head, actually. And what are those plans, you ask? Well, the kind of plans to look forward to, right? So, anyway, that's gonna be it for the today's recording. Ow! Better watch my step. Anyway, peace.